Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
With the sun finally setting down and night upon us, it's not long before the unicorn decide that it's in their best interest to kill the fires and get an early night's sleep so they can rise early, get the caravan back up together, and get moving, just in case any pursuers got started earlier than they thought. And everyone kind of sets out towards their tents, and Ricci, you do notice the conspicuous lack of your usual tent partner. Hayate does not return that evening.
I get to stretch. I'm okay with that.
Get the stretch out. Yep. Yeah. Roll around. The whole place is yours tonight. Oh yeah. No, excellent. The first time you've had privacy at night for quite a while.
Reach just starfishes out in the entire tent.
The entire tent is mine. But yeah, things go quiet. You hear the occasional footsteps of those who they have set up at night to kind of check out things and keep an eye on and a lookout. But the night cools off quickly. In fact, it gets downright chilly. You can already tell that winter is well on its way, and this is not probably the best time of year to be traveling. But yes, with all the talk that everyone has about the burning sands, no one quite tells you just how chilly and cold it can be laying on the ground out in the desert with winter fast approaching. It'll be good to have this journey that can take several weeks behind you and get back to Rokugan with a nice futon and maybe a brazier still burning off to the side. Servants there to refill it and keep an eye on it. Warm hot water bottles. Maybe even a few dogs to come curl up alongside you if you need. And it's those warm and happy thoughts that finally send you off to sleep. Although I guess with you being an Akoto, it's not like you're a Matsu, but still, a lion might be more fitting than just a dog to come curl up with you. Morning comes faster than you'd think, but at least it's the sun is starting to rise and the temperature will start to slowly rise up with it. You're sure that in just a few hours you'll be cursing how hot it still is, but right now all you want to do is get up, grab some tea, and bask in the first rays of Lady Sun's brilliance.
Yes. Gen is so happy to be outside the city and headed back for Rokugan. She's out of the tent very early and making tea on the first fires for Sueno, for Hayate if he comes back, for Ricci. So she's got her tea there and is pouring it for everybody and filling a water skin as well to take with her for the morning's ride.
And Ricci will, after finishing up a few of the morning practices, will go grab his horse and meet up with Gen. You can actually tell that there is a bit of additional like pep to his step a little bit, and mostly you can tell that he is a bit more energetic than normal.
I think Gen will probably just read that into him as him being happy to be out of Alzawira. So,
Good morning to you, Gin, Sueno.
good morning, Richie-san. So I'm glad to see that the caravan does look like it will be moving today. I've seen them start the wagons, but if we leave early enough, we should be certainly able to catch up with them after hunting for at least a couple of hours. Have you seen Minato-san this morning?
Not yet. I'm not certain where he's at or his horse. I don't even know where he's tented up at here.
I believe it was over there, but I cannot be certain. And Gem points to a certain part of it. But here, have some tea.
I will partake of the tea while we wait.
A few minutes later, Hayate and Tomo-san kind of a bit sheepishly show up and to say hello and check on things. And Hayate dips into Richie in his tent to go after a few things from his traveling pack. Morning.
Good morning, Hayate-san. How was your evening?
Gen raises an eyebrow at such an indiscreet question. Truly?
Yeah, he's like he kind of is bent over, kind of half into the tent, as it were. But you do see as he starts to kind of pull back that he has gone kind of red from the nape of his neck all the way up to his ears at that comment, and he's like, "Oh, it was wonderful." Shinzo-san was so kind as to tell me about the travels of Shinjo, and I shared about how the Kitsune family and whatnot were founded from her followers and carried on their legacy.
Tomo-san, may I pull you aside for just a moment?
And at that Tomo is her turn to become beet red, and she's yeah, of course. What can I do for you, Doji-sama?
Oh, it is nothing other than would it be possible for you to do us a very great favor?
What do you need?
Hayate-san, as you know, has not yet learned to ride horseback, and I fear that it might. Well, I worry that should we need to move quickly, that he would not be able to keep up with the wagons. And it would be a very great favor if you could take some small amount of your busy time to help him learn how to ride so he is freed of the need of riding in one of the wagons. I know it is an inconvenience, but could you possibly do that for us?
She smiles happily and warmly and is like, "Oh, yeah, no, I suppose I can teach him to ride. I can have him on my horse, and I can be with him and show him how to ride." Yeah, and then she kind of like gets all distracted and wistful.
Just I ignore the distracted, wistful part and say, "Oh, thank you very much. I am sure that you will assist him most diligently."
Meanwhile, Richie and Hayate are just like looking at each other, and Richi's just giving those like knowing like winks and eye raises and soft little smiles to him.
Like, stop it! You're embarrassing me.
No, it's fine. It's hey, as long as you had a good evening, talking, I think everything's fine.
But yeah, Tomo comes back from talking with Gin, and she kind of takes Hayate by the arm and leads him over to her horse and tries to help get him up into the saddle, which is not an easy task for the man who is uncomfortable not being on solid ground.
A little.
But eventually she gets him up there, and she easily jumps up behind him and kind of wraps an arm or two around his waist and gets him to guide the horse back over to where you all are at.
And while he's mounting and doing all of that, Gen leans over to Richie and says, "A little encouragement for Hayate-san to be studious in these lessons."
That is more than a little encouragement. and of course, Richie just kind of gives that same smile to her.
Gen has a perfectly composed doji face
Mm-hmm.
on this issue.
You know what? I've been doing it enough. I'll give myself a narrative strife just because of all the.
Oh
the
yeah, of
women he's been doing.
all the giggles and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everyone has to remember, strife is not always negative. It can also be being distracted by your own fucking bullshit.
It's one of those things where it's hard to stay composed when you see a friend in high spirits.
All right. And with that, you all are mounted up. It's Sueno, Gin, Richie, Minato, and then Hayate and Tomo riding together.
Just because he's extra as all get out, I imagine why they're having this discussion that Minato comes riding up already in his horse, doing something dumb and extravagant.
Speaking of all up on one's bullshit, what does Minato do?
He's gonna sort of, as he hears them, he's gonna make sure that he has enough room to bring his horse up to a gallop and enough space to then bring it to a sudden halt, causing it to send sort of like a spray of sand in their direction as it rears up with its mane blowing majestically in the wind.
That's extra.
You don't take dangerous allures just so you can be basic.
To be subtle, yeah.
Why, Ide-san, I believe that could have been a painting right there.
Oh, that was nothing.
The horse is magnificent, Ken says, and mounts her own.
Yes, he is, isn't he? Many miles you've traveled together. It's hard to find a horse that is so suited to your temperament, and whose nature complements your own.
Doji considers dojiing further, but lets that be and gets into the saddle.
All right, Minato, where are you going to take him? Not that you know anything. You've maybe traveled this path along the sand road before, but again, it's not like it's a known hunting grounds for you per se.
Like, the camp should be breaking up soon, and we shouldn't stray too far. But we can go a little bit further west, make sure there isn't anything of value behind us that we're leaving before we turn around and head back towards the sun and in the direction of our caravan.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and, because it's an unknown region, as it were, it's not like I said, a known hunting ground to you. Why don't you go with fire for an invent approach and a survival check for me here, as you kind of lead them on a hunt after something, whatever you can find, as it were. Yeah, so I'm thinking fire could work here, but I'm open to other interpretations.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. And let's go with a TN2. Again, you're not looking for anything very specific. You're just kind of open to whatever game you might find. All right, Minato, how did that survival check go to lead this hunt?
You know what? Pretty darn good. I got twice the successes necessary to succeed, and I got a few opportunity. Some strife doesn't matter.
You know, he's just showing off and having a good time and full of himself, and you know, showing these city slickers how it is out in the out in the real world, as it were. So you know, you're gonna find some level of distraction. So yeah, the strife can manifest that way for you. Not a bad thing, as it were. All right. Um, so how do you want to spend your opportunities?
He's going to use one of them to get a sort of a bit of inspiration towards their action, since
Okay.
it's a trade skill that he's using here. Um, and he's gonna, you know, as they were sort of patrolling around, going back and forth over the land, he realizes that there's some terrain that they can use to uh, herd the animals in that direction and sort of pin them in and prevent them from potentially outracing their horses or, you know, getting out of bow shot. So he wants to try and use that to sort of use the terrain to their advantage to help them hunt these creatures.
Sounds good. All right.
The
So,
remaining are
oh
going
yeah,
to
go
be
ahead.
used to look as awesome as possible while doing this.
There you go. Making it flashy, making it interesting, making yourself just look good and being the center of attention that Minato is good at. All right. So for getting 2 successes over what you needed, I'm going to go ahead and say that we upgrade the prey from, say, like just a desert hare or something like that, and we'll move it up to a Camarist oryx, a type of small antelope. The big, long, straight kind of horns with a slight curve to it, almost like a katana, as it were, and uh, white bodies with kind of dusky legs to kind of blend into the desert in the sun's heat, and when they bed down behind some shrubs. But yeah, you've kind of spotted a small herd of probably, oh, I don't know, 8 or so of these Camarist oryx. And yeah, how do you want to proceed from here? How do you want to kind of direct this hunt? Who do you want to send out uh, to make a strike, or to kind of head off the creatures? Right now, they're at about range 6 from you, and well, the Daikyu need to get to at least range 5, and Tomo's bow, the Shinjo horse bow, I think needs to get a little closer than that.
As the more skilled riders, Minato and Tomo will help sort of herd and control the direction of the animals, and Minato wants to leave the actual firing to his two guests. Uh, Mostly A, because he wants to help them get familiar with firing from horseback and using the weapons that they've been given, but he also wants to try and help improve the relationships between them and the rest of the caravan. And if they're the ones that actually bag this game and bring it in, that will help demonstrate their value to the group.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start getting people into position here. Let's. I think it's a maneuver action. You're going to need to at least move 4 range bands to get from range 6 to within range 5, and you're going to need a total of 6 range bands to get from range 6 to range 4. So someone like Tomo is going to need a lot to get a lot closer with their horsebow. But then again, she's not really taking the shot unless they start to, start to get away, or one gets wounded but not finished off, as it were. So yeah, with that, why don't people go ahead and make me maneuver checks? This is a TN2 fitness test, or on horseback you can use survival. Remember, you're going to get bonus successes added on if you make the TN2 equal to your mount's water ring, which is 3. And to just give it the full description, if you succeed in the TN2, you will move 2 range bands, and then you'll move an additional 1 range band for every 2 bonus successes on the check. Also, you can spend 2 water opportunities to move 1 range band, just to throw that out there. And ring is your choice. Just when you are ready to describe things, describe it in a manner related to the ring that you've chosen.
Since Minato's goal is to sort of focus on positioning and movement, I think he'll do this with water.
And Ricci is looking to just get that same kind of maneuvering ability and trying to keep up with the unicorn and their riding ability. So I'll also be going water.
Okay.
I am going water as well for Dojigen.
And Tomo is going earth because she has someone in the saddle with her. And she doesn't want to fall off. Or make them fall off. All right, so with 3 successes, Tomo is able to move 4 range bands. She's not in range for her horsebow at the moment, but she's keeping a pace with you all and looking to cut off the animals. She's kind of taking a kind of a wide right flank, as it were. All right, Ricci, how did you do?
I got 3 successes, 3 opportunities, and 2 strife. So
Not bad.
I'll be keeping a little bit more pace as well. I'll spend 2 of those opportunities to move the extra range band, and one of those opportunities to just relish in the wide open terrain and remove 2 strife for myself, which will counteract the 2 strife I just got.
There you go. All right, Gen, how did you do?
I got 2 successes. I got 2 opportunities and some strife. 2 strife. So, I am going to use my 2 successes to try and keep up, but I'm not necessarily succeeding in keeping up. And
No, actually, you are. Well, it depends how you wanted to spend it. If you spent your 2 opportunities to move an extra range band, if you're in water,
I am
I'm
in
not sure if you're in
water.
water. I forgot to ask. So you can still move the 4 range bands that you would need to get within range of a Daikyu if you, because you get 2 for succeeding at TN2. You get an additional 2, additional 1 for the horse's bonus successes. And then you can spend 2 opportunities in water to move an additional range band.
Okay. So 1 for the horse.
So you can keep up if you'd like. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I'll keep up. I will do that then.
Okay. There you go. You keep up a pace with Ricci. You guys both get within ranges. And Minato.
How many successes does the horse give again?
Gives 3.
All right. So Minato got 2 successes, upgraded to 5 due to his horse assistance, and 3 opportunity. He's just kind of sort of put the heels to his horse, and this is not the first time they've gone out doing this. So he's just going to kind of, especially after all the effort he's been putting in all morning to look as ostentatious and amazing as possible, he's going to kind of just let loose and trust into his horse and just lean in and hold on to dear life and just kind of put his faith in his animal to do what it needs to do. So he's going to use one of those opportunities to get rid of some of the stress he's accumulated, and the other 2 to move an additional range band.
There you go. Excellent. All right. So you've all moved to within range 5. Now, I know that's within range for Gen and Ricci, but I'm not sure. Do you use a Shinjo horsebow or do you use a Daikyu, Minato?
He's got a Yumi. But that does go to range 5.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right then. So with the kind of charging of your hooves and the movement of the horses, the oryx do start to take notice that there are other animals out there moving oddly, and they haven't bolted yet, but they look like they could run or bolt at any moment. But you have, as of right now, you are within range. I will give you all a chance to take a shot. Um, I'm not sure if someone wants to start and go in a specific order. Um, like if maybe Minato wants to start and maybe pass assistance on to other people or something like that. I'm not sure. Um, but I know that Tomo is going to attempt to ride again to get within range of her short bow. Um, with Hayate there with her. And
Yeah,
you guys can decide on the order that you guys want to act when it comes to your turn to shoot.
So, Robert, to answer your earlier question, I don't know if this is the technique you were thinking about, but Minato does have Roar of Encouragement, which once a scene, they can make a TN3 command fire check. And if they succeed, they can pick a target and they can immediately make a strike with assistance. And for every 2 opportunity I get, someone else can also make a strike.
Oh, that's an excellent one. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, so as he's running along the sides, sort of keeping the herd together to be more easily picked off, Monato's going to sort of lean back in the saddle and yell over his shoulder towards Ricci and Gen, and just sort of start yelling words of encouragement towards them and reminding them the various sort of tips and techniques that he had passed on to him earlier in the day and the initial part of the ride. To sort of bolster them on for their attack.
Perfect. Tomo is does make a success on her maneuver check again. She moves 3 range bands, so now she's clear. She's definitely clear within the range for her horsebow. But she also gets 2 opportunities, which she is going to use to pass along skilled assistance to Doji Gen by kind of getting around and behind one of the Oryx, giving her a cleaner shot as that one now realizes that the play that it was gonna bolt has been blocked off by another rider.
All right.
So we'll have Minato go next, and then Ricci and Gen, you can decide which order you two would like to go.
So because this is fire, I get to treat the strife as a success, correct?
We'll say yes this time. This is kind of somewhat structured, somewhat narrative. We'll give you the extra bonus.
Okay, yeah, I just realized, I'm like, wait, is this really a skirmish or not? Because he could change it either way. I guess the question is whether or not. I mean, do you want me to do that? Because I can succeed either way. The question is whether or not I have an extra opportunity or strife.
Yeah, we'll give you we'll give you that it's structured. So feel free to take the fire bonus.
Okay. So yeah, he will sort of noticing that Tomo is already giving encouragement to Gen, sort of focus his attention on Ricci, sort of urging him on to sort of let loose on one of the animals that he thinks is most vulnerable. But also, while doing so, he'll sort of notice how Gen, who has mentioned her past experience with mounted archery, seems to be doing a bit better job, and in turn will then start yelling some extra words of encouragement from her on the best way to sort of draw and fire again in rapid succession. So I want to use obviously, I succeed, and I will allow Ricci to strike with assistance, but I want to spend 2 of these opportunities to also allow Gen to also attack again with assistance.
Got it. So just so I know how the technique works, it is going to allow them to attack now out of turn.
Yep.
Nice.
It's a once a scene thing. Target can immediately strike with your assistance.
There you go. Perfect. And then you just did it to another one. So yeah, you two can take shots at these critters, and then you can take your normal initiatives.
Cool.
And both are getting assistance. So Ricci, you're getting 1 assistance, and Gin is getting 2 skilled assistance.
And I'll pick up a little strife, which is totally
What's that technique called again, Eric?
Roar of Encouragement. It is on page 95 of Path of Waves, I think.
Nice. That's a good one. I had not. Oh no, I had read that one before. That's right. I remember this one now. No, that's good.
Yeah, with that last experience, I just hit rank 5. So I'm like, I have 6 left. What to do? And I'm like, pick up some techniques.
Well, my shot goes wide. I scored 0 successes, even with the assistance. But I did get 1 opportunity out of it, and yeah, we'll spend the opportunity just to again kind of enjoy the moment. And just kind of keep my eyes open and look around and see, kind of observe the animals as they're running away, and just seeing like how they act.
So that's just 1 opportunity to reduce 2 strife.
I
Or is
wasn't
it?
planning on that. It was
Oh,
more
okay.
just observation, just kind of looking
Okay,
around
got
and
it.
kind of keeping eyes open.
That works. All right, and Gin, how about you?
Again, for her part, got 5 successes. Let me confirm that to make sure that sense. Yeah, 5 successes, 2 opportunities, 3 strife, and then what if I don't think the horse's bonus successes come on this roll, right?
No, that's only for maneuver, I believe.
I would like to, if this is the correct way to do this, I'd like to use the 2 opportunities to do a critical strike to dispatch this oryx as swiftly and painlessly as possible. I believe that's how you do it with, well, animals.
Mm-hmm. So that's one way. So you have 5 successes, which is 3 bonus successes. The damage of a Daikyu is it is damage 6, and then you're critting it for deadliness 4. Now, when you crit a minion, you is it added to the initial damage? Let me check to make sure. Yeah, so it's going to receive fatigue equal to the severity instead. So effectively, that's going to be 10 plus 3 bonus successes. That's going to be 13, 13 damage, which the endurance of the Oryx is 6, and you have defeated this minion with 7 or higher additional
Okay.
damage, which kills it instantly. So yes, most excellent. You have done what you were supposed to do. You hit the animal, and it penetrates through the chest cavity right into the heart.
And it's not caused additional unnecessary suffering and so on.
Absolutely, no, you did. You did it well. Any other experienced hunter would look at that shot and be like, "Yeah, no, you couldn't have done it any cleaner, any better, and more humanely than you just did." All right. Moving on. It can be Ricci or Gen to go again.
And we'll lower her bow and do a maneuver to trot towards it. So I'd like to take a movement action to go towards the fallen prey. The one I have felled. Okay. So this is water and fitness for riding, I believe.
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, I got 3 successes and 2 opportunities. I would like to use one of those opportunities to lower my strife by 2. And I'd like to, hold on, use the other opportunity. I'm not sure what else to use the other opportunity for.
It's a water one.
Yeah.
So you can definitely notice things. I think
Okay.
water is always good for observation.
Yeah, I don't have 2 to do a full, spot an interesting physical detail in the environment, but I'll just spend the other to scan around while I'm doing, because it's kind of a casual lope. I'm not trying to, at this point, I'm not trying to hunt another one. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say what can you get from that? I will give you I'll give you a bonus die showing opportunity to your next survival check.
Sounds good.
All right. And Ricci.
I, on the other hand, am going to continue to try to hunt one of these things down.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, without the bonus assistance here, I'm going to do a little bit worse on my roll. But you know what? We'll take that. I'll take 3 successes, a opportunity, and a strife.
All right. So that is going to. How do you want to spend your opportunity?
Opportunity. I will this time continue to reduce my strife.
Sure thing. Because you're still in water for this.
Correct.
Excellent. All right. So your arrow flies true, and you make contact with the oryx. You do 6 plus 1 is 7. You do 7 damage, which incapacitates the oryx, and it goes down. It's still alive, but you can finish it off either going up with a blade and or another arrow. Probably would do the job. But yeah, you have taken one down, but it wasn't nearly as clean as Gen's shot.
That's fair. I'll use the extra maneuver to move on up to it. At least start making my way to deliver the coup de grace.
Sure thing. All right. Ricci, you ride up and you dismount from your horse. You draw your blade and you dispatch the oryx and put it out of its misery. And yeah, the two of you have taken down two antelope, 2 oryx. Tomo and Minato are both impressed with the ability of you both to take down these desert antelope, and they start to come around as you of both are standing over your quarries. When Tomo starts to kind of shift her head and look about, and Hayata's like, "What's going on?" And the next thing you know, she is shoving him face down against the mane and neck of her horse, kind of trying. Looks like, I don't know, like, is she trying to smother him or move him around? And she grabs the reins out of his hand, lays over his back, and kicks the horse in the flanks. And she is booking it, just moving. And she kind of gives a to what Minato knows is a warning whoop of alarm. But the two of you are kind of lost at first before she kind of comes back towards you, and she yells, "We got riders! I think it's the Caliph's men. Get on your horses now! Now, go!" And you look up, and the next thing you see is about a half dozen mounted riders in the arms and armor of the Caliphate, and you see one draw a scimitar and point it out towards you, and he shouts something in Kamaris that carries over the desert dunes towards you, and saying, "Kill them before they can get back to their caravan. Take them out now." I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akoto Ricci. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter at Churcher Games or on Twitch, also as Churcher Games. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kikita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kikita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com